Kamen Rider Geats episode 28, the debut of the brand new super form in Kamen Rider Geats, and that is the laser boost form. And I gotta say, it looks pretty freaking cool seeing it in action. Now, the first half of this episode did feel kind of slow because it was mostly setting up character development for Jin, which I gotta say, Zin, whatever you want to call him, had some really great character development in this episode, and he was kind of, for the last couple of episodes, he's just been this Geats fanboy, where he's been his number one supporter and stuff like that. But after learning what Geats has gone through, what Ace has gone through, he understands where he almost lost his life in this one battle and he would have been done for, but he finds out that Ace has been dying for the past 2,000 years, sort of being reincarnated all over again, sort of going through the same motions trying to find his mother. So he has that moment of development in this episode where he sort of rises to the occasion, and it's unsure if he's going to stick around for later episodes after this one, because we'll probably see him in like the final arc or close to the final arc, but it looks like that he's going to stop getting involved. And even though he's a Geats supporter, Ace supporter, he says that he's going to stop living in different eras and sort of live his own life, which was a nice moment for the dude, and I enjoyed that moment he had near the end. But hopefully after this moment he does show up again, but I don't know if we will see him again, because he does give Ace his sort of henshin device, so that henshin device that he uses, the gun, sort of helps Ace keep his Boost Mark II form under control. So the whole Ace sort of getting sleepy and sort of hearing all those different voices in his head, that story arc is now over, and I'm surprised how quickly it was over before it even began. I mean, it lasted like 3 episodes, but even watching it weekly, it felt like that this storyline wrapped up before it even began. But not only that, the Sengoku era game has come to a close as well, and I gotta say, we got some really cool civilian fights in this episode when you got to see everyone sort of using samurai swords and stuff like that, and I did like how when they sort of entered the Sengoku era, it had this grainy filter over it, and I feel like they should have went the extra mile since this was sort of based in the Sengoku area. They could have made it go black and white to sort of make it be like an Akira Kurosawa film. That'd be something really cool. I mean, that would have been really cool if they did something like that, but I guess they didn't. Now, even though the Boost Mark II form was introduced only a couple of episodes ago, it's sad to see it go already, because I did like that orange form that Geats had, and it was more Fox design. This one is sort of like a combination of that form with some armor thrown on it, like Geats' white armor thrown on it, which is still cool either way. I think it does pop out with the orange and the white, and the bit of blue to sort of have Jin sort of representation on there. And I gotta say, when we see it fighting in this episode, it's really freaking cool. Like that scene where Geats was squaring off against Beroba in the episode with his brand new power-up, and they were sort of doing this fisticuff fight, was really freaking cool as you got to hear the theme playing. Like, that moment popped me. That moment popped me when you got to see some really cool fight coordination in this episode. Like I said, there were some really cool fight scenes in here, really cool civilian fights when they were using the swords in this episode as well. But we also get an interesting twist with Beroba in this episode, where when Geats does get the power-up, she goes, "You wouldn't pummel a defenseless maiden, would you?" And Jin replies with saying, "Hey, you're not really a little small girl. You're actually like 350 years old, and you're a product of the laser rays riser." Try saying that 3 times. Anyway, so it's implied that that isn't her true form, and the laser rays riser actually sort of created that form for her. So thinking of it, she's maybe got a 3D printer design, I don't know, but she might have some true form that we'll see later down the line in the series, along with probably other supporters that are from the future as well. So this little girl get-up she's got going on isn't her actual form, so I do wonder what she actually looks like and if we'll actually see it in the show later down the line. That's something I'm actually curious to see, if she does have this actual true form in the series, but you never know, maybe we'll see it, maybe we won't see it. So Beroba gets pummeled in the episode, and as they're going to reclaim the vision driver from her, Buffa comes in and steals it, but not only that, Buffa's going to hold on for it for himself as well. And the episode ends with Buffa sort of teleporting in front of the goddess of desire saying, "You'll be the one that grants my wish in the end." So Buffa's sort of being built up to be sort of like, I want to say not the true final boss, but like maybe like the secondary final boss if he wants to crush all riders. But Buffa's sort of whole goal to crush all riders, like I want to see why he wants to do that, because he just says he wants to crush all riders, defeat all riders. Like I know he's probably mentioned it before in the episode, but there has to be some sort of method to his madness why he actually wants to do that. He just wants to say kill all riders, and then we find out that he lost his friend a while ago. But I want to find like his actual true motivation why he wants to kill all riders. Does he want to be the only one remaining riders? Does he want to kill the whole concept of riders? Does he want to kill riders as a whole? I want to find out what his whole motivation is for this sort of kill all riders thing, which we'll probably find out later down the line. But in this episode, we also did have the other, like, cast and crew, and when I say cast and crew, I mean Neon and Kawa, learn about Ace's past, but also Ace and that coin. We find out that that's something he sort of found throughout time for each reincarnation, and that goal to find his mother has sort of carried through in his like past lifetimes, which is something we were kind of hinted at last week in episode 27, but now it's sort of learnt by our other characters in the episode. So now they know about Ace's past and what he's been through. So now they sort of know that fact about him. But yeah, this episode was pretty great. Like the Sengoku arc is over. It did feel like it dragged on a little bit last week, but now it's over and we're jumping into a new game next week, which is going to be bullfighting, which is really interesting. I'm curious how that game is going to play out in next week's episode. So I'm curious about that. But definitely Geats is going to be one of those shows where when we get to sort of like the 20s mark in the series, I'm definitely going to have to go back and rewatch it and see how it flows together when binging, because watching Geats weekly is starting to have its toll on me, where I'm excited to watch the episodes, but then I feel drained and I feel like King Oja, that hype is sort of taking over my love for Geats and stuff like that. So I'm still liking Geats. I'm still going to review Geats for sure. Stay tuned for that. I mean, I'm 28 episodes into reviewing. I'm not going to drop it off just now. But overall, we'll see where the show goes, because we've got like 20-something more episodes to go. So we're almost done with the series, and we'll see what happens. But anyway, guys, what did you think of this episode of Geats? Love it, hate it. If I missed anything in this review, feel free to tell me in the comment section down below. I love those interactions where you guys correct me or tell me stuff that I missed. They're really fun, and they do help the channel out and the video out a bit with the whole commenting algorithm and stuff like that. So with that said, I think I'm going to bring this review to a close. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and if you're sticking around, I'll see you guys in my episode 4 King Oja review. So thanks for watching, peace out, take care, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!